Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurhanan Nimitim Aziz and my matching number is 267625. So, I will deliberate with my partner Zul about the persuasive design. First of all, we should know what is persuasive design. So, persuasive design is a field of research in design that focus on shaping humans' actions through the functionality of a product service. Persuasive architecture is also used in e-commerce, corporate management, and public health on the basis of psychological and social theory. So, designer sometimes still prefer to use it in any area involving the long-term commitment of a target group by promoting continuous tradition. So, media technology has already played a major role in the shaping humans' interaction and actions such as poster campaigns and television ads. Since technology has become so interactive, its ability to impact actions have evolved enormously in the 21st country. Its technology has the ability to adapt to the feedbacks, desires, and meaning of the individual points and to enable it to use in particular situations. The most suitable social theory of a persuasive, for example, praise or reciprocations. So the events advancing sophistications of the accessibility to designs, meaning that it is possible to customize the user's experience by weaving convinces elements into it in more discrete way than in previous years. The area of persuasive design is developing its own structures to assist designers in making these accessibility design choices as psychological and social theory as are very often general and not adapted to design practice. Developed by P1 of these frameworks, the fourth behavior model is J. Fox, a professor in Stanford University FPM, has stated. The behavior is defined by as a function of three factors: release motivations, capacity, and triggers. According to the FPMs, knowing these variables along with designers, goods, and service to optimize them help designers to achieve the desired behavior in consumer without resorting to negative strategy such as intimidation or decrease. The importance of such suggests therefore lies in their ability to attract and retain clients without causing a risk to breaching or irritating their trust. In developing great e-commerce experience, there are several methods to applying persuasive design. You need to know how to catch the interest of someone and present your products and service in the optimal manners. You will have to tell entertaining story and know how to develop a long-term relationship if you want clients who are dedicated. So let's see one by one what are nice ways to apply persuasive design. Firstly, you need to know your users. Later in Agile managed projects, elaboration is the process of determining the details of our product features. Whenever the development team tackles a new use story, the evaluation ensures that any unanswered questions about it are answered so that development can process. Secondly, know your products. A product is a tangible item that is put on the market of acquisitions, attention, or consumption, while a service is an intangible item which arises from the output of one or more individuals. Like the words from sales codings, don't find customer of your product, find product for your customers. Number three is determining the behavior. Elaboration refers to the amount of efforts an audience member has to use in order to process and evaluate a message. Remember it and then accept or reject it. As Henry S. Haskins says, good behavior are the last refuge of mediocrity. Number four is put the user in control. So user interface UI design is the process designer used to build interface in software or computerized device. Focusing on look or style, designer aims to create interface which user finds easy to use and pleasurable. UI design refers to graphical user interface and others form. For example, voice control. Step 5 is makes desired outcome aligns. A desired outcome is very simple. It's what the customer needs to achieve in the way they need to achieve it. Like Scotia Kieskoska says, keep your mind focused on desired outcomes rather than one on your current life stress. So number 6 is market the behavior through education. Consumer behavior can be grouped into 4 key categories, which is awareness, preference, engagement, and advocacy. Each of these stages is important into the market. So let's take a look at number 7 of methodology applying for persuasive design. So number 7 is identify potential loss or negativity. The 4 types of loss exposure that small business face are liability loss exposure, income loss exposure, people loss exposure, and property exposure and loss exposure. So, for the liability loss exposure of loss of responsibility occur from injuries, whether deliberate or accidental, whether civil or criminal. Insurance against general liability, the most popular forms of liability loss risk, business insurance and insurance. Technically, liability insurance, employee liability insurance practice, liability insurance, directors and vehicles liability insurance. What is the income loss exposure? So loss of income insurance, loss of income extra expenses insurance, life insurance, business interruption insurance, and disability insurance are the most common form of income loss liability insurance plans. So exposure to the revenue losses impacts the financial cash flow of a small company. For example, a revenue claim or damage may be due to loss of sales, less or tuition, or due to the accident, illness, disability, or job loss. So number 3 is people lose exposure. So what is people lose exposure? Human or personal lose exposure or people lose exposure arise from injuries or death to employee, third party or volunteer. People lose exposure include the possibility of a loss to a small business from a disability, injury, resignation, death, or retirement of employee. Disability insurance, worker compensation insurance, medical insurance, long-term care insurance, prescription drug plans, and Medicare supplements insurance are just a few of the most common type of people lose exposure business insurance policy available. So the last thing is property exposure for loss. Exposure to property loss are often too easier to catch due to the tangible existence of many of the claims. For example, claim for property damage exposure can result from damage to your house, vehicles, inventory, instruments, and requirements and furniture. If the office building is destroyed by a fire, it is called exposure to property damage. Exposure of property loss will also apply to intellectual property and the receivables account payable of your small company. So number 8 is build the path of desired outcome. Your career path includes the jobs you will need to hit your ultimate career goal, but it doesn't need to follow a straight line. So there is no blueprints or timetable of climbing the career ladder. I schedule starts through the day with breaks in between. That's from Sarah Kim. So the ninth is keep it simple. So how to keep it simple is a design principle which states that designs and systems should be as simple as possible. Wherever possible, complexity should be avoided in a system as simplicity guarantees the greatest level of user acceptance interactions.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum. So my name is Ahmad Zulsni bin Basri. Entry number 826469. So today I'm going to talk about 7 persuasive design strategy, which is there is 7 persuasive design strategy in our life. So the first one is reduction. Reduction is meant to making complex tasks simple, which is every task that we do, we make it simple and make it easy to our life and easy to run. So the second one is tunneling. So tunneling is guided persuasion, which is they guide persuasion to make our task more simple, like giving control over to the experts. So the third one is suggestion. So suggestion is placing triggers in the path of motivated learners. And the fourth one is tailoring, provide options, and learners are more likely to complete the task that they choose. And the fifth one is self-monitoring. Self-monitoring is like our self-motivated, which is never underestimate the trail of checking box of regulation, like we have to do something depends on ourselves. And the sixth one is conditioning. So conditioning is reinforcing targeted behavior. And the last one is surveillance. It's only creepy if you don't share the result design for data first. Means is you have to do something and then the result it gonna be shown to the other people, so it can be the great one like that. So that's it.